Good evening. It's time for OTC 2019 coverage on DNT. My name is Kofi Opon Ochri. Taking us back to OTC, it started in 1969 and today it is recognized as the world's biggest investors hub for the oil and gas sector. And that is the place that businesses in the oil and gas sector go to showcase what they have so that they could attract more investment and investors into their businesses. So Ghana is privileged to be a part of the event, and then this is the second time Ghana is hosting her own pavilion at the event. DNT is the official television station there to bring you coverage of the event to Ghana. My name is Kofi Opon Ochri. So today there has been a lot of things happening at the event, and DNT as official television station, we covered it all, and we are bringing it to you this evening. The event actually started on 6th of May, and from that time to now we have been bringing you coverage of the event. You can log on to our YouTube channel and then watch the videos uploaded up there, and then you can also go to our Facebook page to get all the videos on DNT OTC 2019 coverage. So today at the event, the Honorable Minister John Peter Amewu visited the stands of Ghanaian exhibitors and had interactions with them. So let's have what the minister said to them when he visited their stands, the stands of Talu and Cosmos Energy at the OTC 2019.
Well, as you know, we cannot rewrite history. Cosmos put us on the map in 2007. And then since then, we've been working very closely with Talu to run the Jubilee Field. And we've also tried to do more. When we talk about local content, we wanted to really step out of our space to do more for the teaming youth. And that's why we created Cosmos Innovation Center, which is really churning up entrepreneurs. So we created about 11 companies, all young entrepreneurs in the space of agriculture, which has nothing to do with oil, but again, to help develop people for the country and then take us to the next level. So that is what we're displaying here with Cosmos Innovation Center, and what the young ones are doing, using technology in agriculture to really scale up our businesses. And that's what you're seeing today.
Thank you. Yes, of course, we are aware that Cosmos, has a trick and the dynamics, to determine what others cannot do. And so when the impossibility avails itself, the only company to call upon to do that is Cosmos. They've proven beyond all reasonable doubt that oil can be found when others cannot do it. So of course we are very happy to be with them here. No doubt their level of participation in terms of what they do for the society is something everybody have to watch. This is a company that really improves the training capability of Ghanaians, and we want more Ghanaians to get into the sector. We encourage Cosmos as we move to deeper waters and more challenging areas within our oil and gas sector. This is the time to get involved. They don't have to run away. We need them. We need them, so they should come along with us.
Joe.
Thank you.
Allow me to say you're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm doing well, sir. Oh yeah. Our MD is here, so let me.
Yeah. So, Minister, we are very pleased you could come and visit our booth first.
Thank you.
Showcase that we started producing oil first for the country, and after 10 years we are still producing oil. This year we produced the 50th million barrel from 10, and currently we're producing around 170,000 barrels a day. And we thank you for your support and for your encouragement, and we look forward to continuing to work with you and the people of Ghana.
Thank you so much. There is no way when the history of Ghana is written in terms of oil discovery that anybody is going to forget about the name Talu. We appreciate the good job you've done over the period. Because of your involvement in the upstream activities in Ghana, we've seen a lot of improvement.
Absolutely.
Educational facilities, social infrastructure, and that is the extent of which oil can benefit its citizens.
Indeed.
You have demonstrated it. The future is still bright.
Absolutely.
And we are asking you to come along with us as we begin to invest in more difficult areas, within the country. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the good job.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
After the minister visited the various stands, DNT also took time to speak to a few people at the event. And one of them is the Honorary Consul of Houston, Ghana to Houston, and then in the person of Jack Webb. And he explained that he's extremely pleased and fascinated about the event, and he's doing his best to bring investors into Ghana. Let's have what he said to our correspondent.
So far, I'm extremely pleased.
Awesome.
27 years ago, President Bush sent me to Ghana, and it was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. And today is the culmination of all that wonderful time. It's a fantastic event we're doing on here.
Definitely. Well, what do you look for in Ghana in the next 10 years?
Well, I see a lot of progress in oil and gas. I see the barrels of oil going up tremendously in the next 5 years.
I like it.
And with that money, we can use that for many other things that need to be done.
What are some of the processes you guys are doing for companies to come in and invest in Ghana?
Well, I have all kind of projects right now. I'm meeting yesterday with a lady who's building medical clinics in Ghana, but she needs somebody to help them on that.
Okay.
And I have another building of television antennas. They need help. So I had all kind of people that need, but I need money, and I need that from companies that are making all this money in the oil.
So away from Jack Webb, we also had interactions with Ghana Petroleum Commission representative there, and he also explained that Ghana has geological prospects and added that the institution has rules and regulations which has helped Ghana's oil and gas industry and gotten us to where we are currently. So let's have what Kweku Boateng said to DNT correspondent Paula Smith.
Currently we have about 70 petroleum agreements involving about 16 companies, and all these blocks are active in terms of the running petroleum agreements. So there are about 16 companies operating 70 blocks in Ghana, and all these blocks are active technically in the sense that there are existing petroleum agreements covering these blocks. So all these blocks are active.
Which country are you guys competing with the most? I just want to know.
Yeah, our basin basically are offshore, deep water, as in many other basins in West Africa. Traditionally, you have countries such as Angola, Nigeria, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, that have been operating deep water blocks over the years. However, for the past few years, you have emerging countries such as Senegal, Mauritania, that have also made some discoveries, mainly in gas. And you have other countries that have shown good prospects, such as Liberia, Gambia, and Sierra Leone. So technically, all these are competitors. But when you talk about Ghana, you look at the unique features for the country. One, in terms of geology, it's been proven that we are having very good geological prospects. Most of the wells that have been drilled have have encountered hydrocarbons. In terms of the geopolitical situation, Ghana is well known for as a safe haven in West Africa. We have a very stable democratic governance. In terms of the legal and regulatory regime, none of our competitors in West Africa can compare to Ghana. We have established an independent regulator to govern the Secretarial Petroleum Commission. We have various laws and regulations that govern the sector, and we are able to establish a transparent and accountable legal and regulatory regime. And the country is very well known as a respecter of sanctity of contracts, and we protect foreign investments, unlike probably some other countries that may have some unfavorable incidents. But Ghana is very, very well known for very predictable, transparent legal regime. And in terms of technical personnel, we though the oil industry is quite nascent in Ghana, but we have developed a well-qualified pool of engineers and geoscientists that will support the upstream operations in Ghana. In terms of infrastructure, by regional standards, Ghana have very good infrastructure, relatively good roads, well-established telecom system, and we can say that though the other countries that are showing geological prospects, but Ghana, in terms of other qualities that we have, we certainly are better than our competitors in the sub-region. And we encourage foreign investors in. The interesting thing is that to show us a proof of it, many companies, both the IOCs and service companies, have relocated their regional offices from the sub-region, including South Africa, to Ghana, which clearly shows the confidence that the investor community have in Ghana. And we welcome foreign investment in Ghana, and they'll be happy in the country.
And then Talus Kweku Awache also did not hesitate to grant DNT correspondent an interview and then explained why they are there and what they are doing there currently, their prospects and what they are going to do in the future in Ghana, so far as we are also part of the oil and gas industry. So Kweku Awache spoke to DNT correspondent Paula Smith, sharing all this with her.
At least a 20-year minimum life of field, going to produce oil for the next 20 years. Without further discoveries, but of course we think we'll be discovering more. We employ about 400 people between the two vessels, working with a Japanese contractor called Modec, and then Tullow itself has about 400 people in Accra, which do all the administrative work, the financials, the working with the government, stuff like that.
What are some of the improvements that you guys are doing in your company for the safety of your employees?
So you have to remember that oil and gas is produced in a very hazardous environment.
Right.
It's all very high pressure, and environmental stewardship is a very important factor. So we spend a lot of time thinking about how we keep our employees safe. As far as I know, we've had no fatalities in the period that we've been working, and what we have is what we call a lost time incident indicator, where for years and years, the last few years, all our operations have been operating without lost time injury. So we've got guidelines, we've got processes that we use to make sure that workers work without losing time. They may have a few cuts here and there, but in terms of actually having to go home because of an injury, we haven't had that for a number of years.
I would like to ask this, when it comes to investment, what are some of the things that you guys are doing to actually bring forth a lot of companies to compete with the investment in your company?
Okay, so just by way of context, we have spent about $17 billion over the last 11 years producing from these two fields. We have awarded contracts in excess of $6 billion to companies either locally or who are in joint venture partnership with local companies. Local content is a prime requirement anytime we award contracts. One of our questions is, do you have a local content partner? So these are things that we encourage. We want local companies to participate, and we look for all the different ways we can have that. Now, it's a journey is the best way to put it. We started just 10 years ago, and over time we're increasing and deepening that involvement.
Our focus today was actually to have interactions with the Ghanaian companies at the event to know what the prospects are and what they are experiencing so far as they have attended the event this year. Some businesses, Ghanaian businesses, are really indigenous businesses and they are new to the events, but they still went ahead to share their experiences and then thanking God for taking them there, and then they are hopeful that they are going to have investments into their various companies. So one of these companies is Batch Freight Logistics Limited, and then their rep spoke to DNT, sharing some very good information with us, and we hope that you will be interested in that. So let's have what's the representative for Batch Freight and Logistics Limited shared with DNT correspondent.
We are Batch Freight and Logistics Limited. That means that we are into freight and we are into logistics. Basically, we can lift anything from that size to anything as big as an oil well equipment. So we carry out custom clearance, ship agency, haulage, and what have you, any logistics need that you may have, yes, we do it.
Okay, so what do you guys see yourself in the next 5 years?
Well, at the moment, about 70% of our revenue is from the oil and gas industry, and we continue to see that would be the case for us in the next 5 years because of everything that is going on in Ghana right now.
Awesome.
With the oil and gas industry.
And then also CEO for INAMA company also shared the purpose of his company with the DNT correspondent, and even why they are there, and after they visited the place, or as they are part of the place, the experience so far. He did not hesitate to share all that with DNT.
INAMA is an indigenous Ghanaian company. We are ISO certified, OSHA certified. We offer asset integrity solutions. Okay. So we have the capacity to help you keep your assets running with the use of composites, cold work, where you don't need to shut down your operations or your assets to cut and replace, and carry out a hot work application. We also have solutions for coding, repairs, maintenance. So when you think of anywhere where you're having problems with corrosion, abrasion, erosion, we've got products that you can use to protect, repair, and improve your assets. So our purpose is to make sure that you are up and running, reducing downtime, basically.
How long have you been in business so far?
INAMA was incorporated 10 years ago.
Yes, and also we went to the stands of Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority to have brief interactions with them, to know what the company is doing in the country and what the prospects are, what they have done so far, what they have achieved so far, what is in there for investors who wants to come into the country. And their representative there did not hesitate to speak to DNT correspondent, and their representative there is Peter Amo Bediako, and he gladly spoke to DNT correspondent Paula Smith, sharing some very vital information that we know that investors may be interested in. You as a Ghanaian would also be interested in, because the oil and gas industry is open to everyone, all Ghanaians, and then you're all part of Ghanaians, so you have to have this.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. What we've done is that to provide a logistics base to support the industry. The first thing that we did was to ensure that Tullow, the oil major or the anchor company of Ghana's oil industry, has a dedicated berth to support its operations offshore. So if you come to the port right now, we have a 100-meter dedicated berth for Tullow. Aside that, we have given about 78,000 square meters of space for some of the logistics support companies, to companies like GE, companies like Belmet 7, companies like Intertech. We have Batch Fridge, who have dedicated space in the port to provide support to the industry. Batch Fridge, for instance, has about 4,000 square meters at the main quay of the port that is supporting the ENI offshore operations in the port. One of the challenges that we also had initially was the 24-hour supply of water. Water is a very essential commodity for the oil drilling and exploration campaign. So we partnered with a private company, Viking Offshore, to also install a desalination plant inside the port, so that we have 24-hour supply of water to the industry. So these are basically some of the things that we've been doing. Belmet 7, for instance, have been manufactured. You see some of the suction piles. Right. All these things are fabricated in the port of Takoradi. Ideally, what would have happened is that some of these suction piles and the flow lines would have been fabricated either in Aberdeen or Singapore, which would have been shipped to support the oil industry in Ghana. But because of the space that we have allocated to the support logistics company, all these are manufactured in Ghana, and it goes to at least reduce the cost of operations for corporate Ghana as a whole. So these are some of the basic things that we've been doing to support the oil industry. What is important is that aside what we are doing to support, we are implementing a master plan. When the oil was discovered, we realized that most of our vessel calls that were calling the port, about 50% of them, especially since 2009, have been offshore supply vessels. So we needed to expand the port to be able to cater cost efficiently for the oil industry and also the traditional cargoes that we handle, bauxite, cocoa, manganese and other stuff. So we are implementing a master plan that seeks to segregate the operations into three main areas, i.e. the old port, which is a 1928 port, is going to be dedicated for the oil and gas industry. We have partnered with a local company, Ibistec, to construct a multi-purpose terminal at -16 depth. We are also constructing a bulk jet, a new bulk jet, that's about 800 meters. And we will be installed with the conveyor system with a loading capacity of 3,000 metric tons per hour. So these are some of the things. I can show you the master plan for you to at least have an idea of what it's doing. This is the master plan of the port of Takoradi. This is the old port, the 1928 port, which had a breakwater of 1.7 kilometers. So in the master plan, we have extended the main breakwater an additional of 1.08 kilometers, bringing the total breakwater to 2.7 kilometers. This is the bulk jetty that we are constructing, 800 meter bulk jetty. As we speak, last week, the quay wall, the whole 800 meters, was handed over to the port, and it has been dredged to -16. The next phase of it is that we will be installing the conveyor system, like I said before, that will help speed up the loading and offloading process. The multi-purpose terminal is going to be built here, and it is going to be facilitate the operations of container. It is also, the dimensions are 795 meters at -16 depth, then 900 meters at -14. In total, it has about 53 hectares. The old port, that will be for the oil and gas. We intend reclaiming about 32 acres that will be added to existing area that will be developed into an oil and gas hub. We create 6 additional beds and dredge to -10 to cater for other supply vessels that are coming in. We also realized that the maintenance of the oil and gas supply vessels are either done in South Africa or in Las Palmas. And this is something that we thought was not good for Ghana as a whole, because if it could be done here, there were a lot of jobs that would be generated for the local community. So we have partnered, yes, we have partnered with a private company, that is Prime Meridian Docks, and they will be coming in with a floating dock to support the oil and gas business. So that's a helicopter view of what the Port of Takoradi is doing to support the oil and gas industry.
So Paula Smith has been a very good hunter today. She was on a hunt for indigenous Ghanaian companies who are present at the event this year, and then she also made time to speak to DH Energy's representative Mami Ekuya Ansan and then Kojo Ajimai.
Hi, thanks for having us. We're Destra Energy Group. We're a fully owned Ghanaian company. We provide offshore support services to IOCs in Ghana. We provide special transportation, mainly vessels. We have here some of the vessels that we operate and manage in Ghana. We have PSVs, anchor handlers, FSIVs. We currently are working on a Talos 4D seismic project. We're supporting them with chase boats for that project, 2 of those chase boats. We have history in Ghana. If you look at our company profile, you know a little bit more about us. And I think Ghana is really growing in the sector. We're looking to participate more in the sector. We're building capacity in different areas, and we're excited about the growth in Ghana. Aker Energy is joining the industry in Ghana. ExxonMobil is here, and we're hoping that the licensing routes will bring bigger IOCs into the country, and some of us will have the opportunity to build capacity for locals.
Nice, nice. Miss Oseo, can you tell us a little bit more about you as well?
So my name is Prema Oseo, one of the directors of Destra Energy Group. I handle primarily the renewable energy sector of our company. We're currently working on a 20 megawatt solar power plant in partnership with Avior and IPP in Ghana. We're very excited about the prospect of developing renewable energy in Ghana. The government is also very committed to developing renewable energy in Ghana, so this is very exciting for us.
I mean, it's been a very good and wonderful day, and then Oil and Marine Companies Agencies Ghana Limited's representative at the event also shared the prospects of the future and what they even look forward to achieve in the next 5 to 10 years and what they are willing to do in Ghana. And should they have the right investment and the right people to work with DNT correspondent. We think that all of these are information that you need so that when you are going out there to do business with companies, you know the rightful companies to work with. That is why we are bringing you coverage of the OTC 2019 conference. So these companies are credible companies in the country. They are highly recognized in the country. So let's have what the representative of the Oil and Marine Agencies Ghana Limited shared with DNT correspondent Paula Smith.
Oil and Marine Agencies Ghana Limited is a logistics, ship agency and an energy partner for companies who want to do business in Ghana. And therefore, we are here at this conference to be able to partner with the big players who want to do business. Currently, we partner with Yinsin Production, who are into FPSO production. We partner with Dove Subsea, who are into subsea engineering. We partner with PGS, which is a seismic and data acquisition company. And therefore, we are looking to look at the big players like the drilling companies and others who want to come to Ghana and establish a business. And we are looking forward to making a business deal before we leave OTC this year.
I love it. What do you guys see yourself in the next 5 years?
We started as a small shipping agency company. Now we've ventured into oil and gas, which is a big thing. So we are looking at becoming a local oil and gas company that is dependable and is able to do business on its own in the next 5 years.
Let me throw this out to you. How many employees do you guys facilitate?
Currently, Oil and Marine Agency itself has about 58 employees, and through our joint venture companies, we have over 200 employees.
Wow, you guys are growing.
We are indeed growing. From a little company that started 10 years ago, we have grown to become a big giant in the industry.
Yeah, so that is how lovely day 3 of OTC 2019 has been, the Offshore Technology Conference. I like to call the name out clearly so that you can relate to it better. And then DNT is the only Ghanaian television station, official Ghanaian television station, bringing you coverage of this event, which is happening in at the NRG Park in Houston, Texas. We have a lot of Ghanaian indigenous companies present there at the moment, and then we are all in prayers for them that they could get some good investment into their companies. We've had a lot of information, a lot of revelations, and then a lot of applause so far as Ghana is in the oil and gas industry, and then so far as DNT is bringing you the coverage. I know that this evening you have enjoyed it. You can subscribe to our social media handles, YouTube page. You can go and then like our Facebook page. You will have all the updates that you need on every event happening in and around the world. You would have it on DNT. But let me take you through what will be happening tomorrow at the OTC 2019. So tomorrow is actually the 9th of May. The event is ending tomorrow. And so there's going to be a couple of networking at various hotels in Houston where the event is happening. And then interested delegates depart for Woodlands area chambers of commerce to engage with oil and gas equipment. So we are going to have interested investors and then interested delegates visit various areas and various sectors so that they could have interactions, business interactions. And then one of the places, the commerce to engage the area commerce to engage with oil and gas equipment suppliers. There are going to be a couple of exhibitions going on, but the exhibition is actually going to be ending tomorrow, and then there's also going to be a private meeting for the Honorable Minister and his deputies before they leave the event premises. So that is how the event has been. OTC celebrating 50 years. You could also go to our social media page and then share your good messages, your wishes for OTC, because the event has been very much supportive. It has been very much helpful. Lots of people have been able to reach out to investors and an investment from this very event that started in 1969. Let me say a very big thank you, respondent Paula Smith, to our CEO Jermaine Nkrumah, to all the camera crew, to my MCR, my technical boss TD, Sami, and everyone, the editors and all that. Thank you very much upon Archery. So tomorrow we are still bringing you OTC 2019 coverage. Have a good evening. Enjoy the rest of your day with DNT Possibilities.